What's up, YouTube? I'm QC. Welcome to another edition of Talking and Grubbing. And this is my breakdown for the Western Conference first round of the 2017 NBA playoffs. Starting with the first matchup, the number 1 Golden State Warriors versus the number 8 Portland Trail Blazers. Now, we all know the Warriors have a lot of firepower in 4 All-Stars in Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson. Now, KD suffered an injury in February and missed almost the rest of the remainder of the regular season, but he came back with a few games left. So now that he's healthy, I think the Warriors definitely are going to roll. We all know that they get praised for their offense, but what's underrated about them is their defense. They're one of the top defensive teams in the league, which is led by Green, who I definitely think is going to be defensive player of the year this year, And also, they have a pretty solid bench in JaVale McGee, Andre Iguodala, and Sean Livingston. Now, the only question mark I have is, can KD stay healthy throughout the playoffs? Because if he doesn't, that definitely, brings their chances down of winning the championship. Now, on the flip side to Portland, they got a great backcourt in Damian Lillard, and CJ McCollum. They also have an underrated big in Evan Turner. But I don't think that the Trailblazers have enough firepower to keep up with Golden State. But it's still going to be a competitive series, so I say the Warriors in 6. The next matchup, the number 2 San Antonio Spurs versus the number 7 Memphis Grizzlies. Now, Kawhi Leonard has really taken the reins of San Antonio, and he's trying to show everybody that he's just not another guy. He's definitely had a coming out party this year. In fact, he's had an MVP type season, but it's sad that he's not going to get it, because if I had a vote, I would definitely vote him for MVP. But since Russell Westbrook broke Oscar Robinson's triple-double record and Harden's having the season that he's having, it's going to be real tough for Kawhi to finally get it. But as you know, under Pop, they're always going to be disciplined and methodical in their offense and their defense. They're one of the top defensive teams in the league. They're always going to pass the ball. They're going to pass up a good shot for a great shot. They also have some real great pieces in LaMarcus Aldridge, Paul Gasol, David Lee, Patty Mills, and a great three-point shooter in Danny Green. On the flip side with the Grizzlies, I think they're definitely an underrated team. They play hard. They play hard-nosed defense. They're always in your face from first quarter to fourth quarter. They're led by Paul's little brother, Marc Gasol, Zach Randolph, Zebo, and also Vince Carter, who's still getting it done at 40. But the Grizzlies also have an underrated point guard, Mike Conley. But the problem is they don't have the bench support to keep up with the Spurs. But this is still going to be a competitive series too. So I'm going to say the Spurs in 5, but it's not going to be like domination 5. It's going to be a hard-nosed fought 5. Now on to the next matchup is the number 3 Houston Rockets versus the number 6 Oklahoma City Thunder. This is the matchup that everybody's been waiting for in the playoffs. Matter of fact, this is the most intriguing matchup of the playoffs. You got 2 MVP candidates, and you also got 2 former teammates going at it against each other in James Harden and Russell Westbrook. Now, James Harden has definitely led the Houston Rockets to a turnaround season. I thought that they were going to be middle of the pack, first round exit at best. But Harden has definitely stepped up his game, and also his assists have gone up. He also has some solid pieces, great pieces around him in Trevor Ariza, Eric Gordon. He also got Lou Williams at the trade deadline, who's one of the most underrated 6-man in the NBA. On the flip side with the Thunder, Russell Westbrook has broken Oscar Robinson's triple-double record. And the Thunder have some nice pieces in Victor Oladipo, Enes Kanter, and Steve Adams. And also, they got Taj Gibson at the trade deadline, who can hustle and rebound for you. But I still don't think the Thunder have enough firepower and enough defense to keep up with the Rockets. But I still think this is going to be a great series, so I picked the Rockets in 6. On to the final matchup is the number 4 Utah Jazz versus the number 5 LA Clippers. Let's start with the Clippers. I think Doc Rivers is on the hot seat if his team cannot get it done in the playoffs this year, because the last couple of years in the playoffs, they've either been first round or second round exits. If this This Clippers team can't make a run this year with Blake Griffin, Chris Paul, DeAndre Jordan. I think there's going to definitely be changes in the front office, coaching staff, and with the team as a whole. Now, on the flip side, with the Jazz, they have a Coach of the Year candidate in Quinn Snyder. I think he's very underrated. And they also have a very nice core in Gordon Hayward, Rudy Gobert, Dante Exum. And they also have a few vets on the bench like Joe Johnson, Boris Diaw, and also another underrated point guard on their team in George Hill. And I definitely like their style of play, their hard-nosed defense, and they're definitely methodical on offense. So I think that the Jazz are going to win this series, so I picked the Jazz in 6. Anyways, that's my breakdown of the Western Conference first round. Like, comment, and share the video. Till next time, y'all have a good one. Love y'all to life. Deuces.